I'm Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of this newsletter is going to be Indifference and Effortless Seduction. Well, I've got a really good email here from a viewer who just found out about my work a few months ago, and he made the mistake of not reading my book 10 to 15 times like I say to do. And he started to realize that he was watching videos and he was getting dates, and the quality of the women had improved just from what he had learned from watching my videos, but yet he still didn't learn the fundamentals in the book. He tried to shortcut it. However, he realized the error of his ways, because what was happening is he's going on dates and all he's doing is getting like a fucking kiss in the cheek. This is ridiculous. But he details a success story of a woman that he met recently, and she had a boyfriend, and she was like literally in the verge of breaking up with this guy, or in essence looking for the replacement before she finally ended her relationship altogether. And this guy just does a really beautiful job of being indifferent, being mysterious, and giving her the freedom to come and go as she pleases. And you'll see when I go through his email, there were pressure points where she was backing off, saying, "No, I'm not ready for that, I'm not ready to kiss you yet." He backs off and obviously takes 2 steps forward, 1 step back, like I talk about in my book. And he had a great success, a great evening. And the guy's obviously pretty ecstatic about what's happened and the fact that he's hooking up with this girl, and she's going to be coming over a little bit later to hook up again for, I think, the 4th time in 2 days or 24 hours, something like that, which is pretty awesome. So before we get into his email, I have a quote that I wrote that I want to share with you. And it says, "You should have high standards and high expectations for yourself. See yourself as being in the process of becoming the best version of yourself that you can be. If you don't know how to do something, you will find a way to learn how. Expect and act in ways that are congruent with things eventually working out for you in the way you want them to. See setbacks and challenges as opportunities to learn and overcome, as well as required life experiences which are necessary to ensure that you become all that you are capable of becoming. The manifestation of your ideal life and lifestyle can only happen once you have become the person you need to be in order to live at that level of success in existence. CEOs are not born, they are made. Your ideal life requires you to envision it, take action to achieve it, and become the person you need to be in order to live it. All great things take time." So let's go ahead and jump into his email. He says, "Hey Corey, I found your book a couple of months ago, and I've been keeping up with your video newsletters. At the start, I tried applying your techniques before I had read your book 10 to 15 times. Well, just like Confucius said many, many thousands of years ago, success depends upon prior preparation. Without said preparation, there is sure to be failure." Since he didn't read the book, look what he said happening. He said, "I would set dates but still end up getting the cheek when I went for the kiss. However, the girls I was seeing were all far above the previous standards I was setting for myself, so I knew I was making progress. Since these girls showed a low interest, I didn't bother contacting them again and instead kept pursuing girls I used to consider out of my league. One in particular I wanted to get with since senior year, just typical wallflower. She was totally blossomed as well. Anyways, she had a boyfriend until last night, LOL. You fucking dog. I remember you said a girl will stay in a relationship she no longer wants to be in until she finds better. Not all women, but quite a few of them will do that. The worst thing, because there are women that will literally start dating and hooking up with a new guy before they finally do in the dude that they're with. Women who have integrity will actually, they have a high enough self-esteem and they're comfortable enough in their own skin, but where they don't feel like they gotta have somebody else in their life. So they'll break up with somebody because their attitude is, hey, I'm gonna find somebody anyways as soon as I become single again. He says, we hung out on Thursday of this past week. I set a definite date, and I even used your takeaway technique. It worked like a charm. And when I saw her, I hugged her close and picked her up a little bit. Ha ha ha. She mentioned that I had matured a lot since a few years ago. and I wanted to escalate things as much as possible without crossing lines, so I remarked on how tall she was. I told her to stand up and face me, and when she did, I put my hands on her waist, and I looked her dead in the eyes with a smug look on my face. She later told me that it was a "you know you want this" kind of look, and she did. In other words, she wanted him. Why not? You're fucking awesome. That's how James Bond would think. He would be thinking, of course you're going to sleep with me. Why? Because I'm James Bond. And that's pretty much what always happens when I get together with very beautiful women who are charming and fun and interesting. He says she said today that when she went back to her boyfriend that night, that she fucked him and could only think of me. That fucking poor bastard. I laughed when she told me this because after that, I said I was going to blow her mind when we finally got to it. She turned her head when I tried to kiss her today, at first saying it was too soon, so I backed off a little bit and I went into my room. We talked, or rather, she talked, and I listened, and she starts playing with my hands. I started getting naughty. Remember, 90% of the time, you're the charming James Bond. 10% of the time, you're the naughty boy. I started getting naughty, and she was enjoying every bit of it. She closed her eyes and pressed herself against me. Because remember, she kind of pushed you away. It was like, no, it's too soon. And then you kind of hung back, and then she starts touching you. Then you slowly reciprocate. Then it's her idea. She's open to it at that point. And as I teased her, kissing her neck and caressing her chest, I went and I kissed her on the mouth, and she kissed me back like we've been doing it for years. She was shocked. I'm not. She was shocked, and soon after I was taking off her clothes. Look at that. I went down on her and she loved it, especially the fact that I enjoyed it as much as her. After that, there was no stopping what came next. Her, haha. She said she had never had better, and she was even late to class. She's coming back over after class, and things are great thanks to you, Coach. I just don't want to blow it by acting dorky out of overexcitement. Dude, this is your fucking birthright. This is the way it's supposed to be. This is the way the Creator designed us to be. When two people like each other and they have chemistry, they get together, they hang out, they have some fun together, and guess what? Hooking up is just a natural evolution of that process. He says she texted me and I'm letting her wait. Round 4 is happening when she gets back. So until she gets back, I will be reading your book again. Good job. Thanks for everything, Corey. I've even landed 2 jobs concurrently since I found your book. Well, also, if you're somebody that's trying to get a job or trying to better your job, you can Google Corey Wayne, how to get any job you want. Or if you'd like to get my help personally with some career coaching, obviously you can book a phone session with me or a Skype session on my website. He says, I put a few of my friends onto your words of wisdom, and I'm spreading the word to everyone who has seen and is confused by my progress. That's awesome, because this changes how you show up in the world. This totally radically alters your body language, your physiology, the tone of your voice. I had a conversation, it was last week, with a client of mine, and I first started coaching him about a year ago, and he started, I think he'd been married for about 15, 18 years, something like that. And he had a couple kids with his wife, and he was trying to get her back. And when I first talked to this guy on the phone, like his voice, just listening to his voice, he sounded like the typical beat down, nice guy. And it's like when you listen to him talk, he almost sounded like he was gay. He had been so emasculated by his wife. But slowly over the last year, he's taken the power back. He's taken the leadership role back. His wife's starting to fall back in love with him again. They're spending time together, and they even got pregnant. I mean, this was like literally their marriage was on the verge, literally weeks away from getting a divorce when I first started working with him. And I started pointing all these things out to him. And it's like these were things that he did when she first fell in love. And when I pointed it out, he started going back to who he was back then, and he started seeing some results, seeing some progress. But his career is doing well. He's got a lot of opportunities. She's got opportunities, obviously, that are coming her way, and everything seems to be getting in the flow of things again. And like when I talked to him the other day, and I hadn't talked to him probably about 6 months since the last phone session, he sounded like a different guy. It's like if I had to close my eyes and just listen to 2 recordings, it would have been hard to tell it was the same person. And I can tell that. He didn't really notice it, but obviously his wife is noticing it. She's pregnant with a child when she was ready to divorce him. That's pretty fucking powerful. And so, it's really amazing how when you become successful in this area of your life, that you just exude confidence. You exude sex appeal. You walk prouder. You stand taller. You can't help, because how can you not feel awesome about this? This is a girl that he's had a fantasy about since they were in high school together. And people that know him now are like people that know me, especially a lot of the girls that know me back when I went to high school, they always like, you were so quiet back then. And they see what I do now, and it's like, I'm a completely different, I'm the same guy, but at the end of the day, I'm extroverted as opposed to being so introverted. And when you love yourself and you feel comfortable in yourself and you can have these kinds of experiences, you can't help but become extroverted. Because you're walking around proud, strutting your stuff, proud as a fucking peacock, because these are the kind of experiences that you're able to create. You just run into somebody and boom, a love story just kind of starts to evolve. And you know exactly what to do, when to move forward, when to back off. It just makes life so beautiful. It's the whole reason why we're here. We're here to enjoy our lives. We're here to have a great fucking time. And it's awesome that this guy is having a great fucking time. So if you'd like to get my help personally, the quickest way is to book a paid phone, Skype, or email coaching. You can choose any of those options by going to my website, clicking the products tab at the top of your screen. Just follow the instructions. If you want to get a digital version of my Kindle ebook or a paperback version, on the right-hand side of any page of my website, underneath the email sign-up box, there is a link that has an image of my actual book cover. And if you click on that, it'll take you right to Amazon.com, and you can either download the ebook version or you can purchase a paperback version. And I will talk to you soon.